Here's how I made infinite levels in Godot for my indie game. First, I created some chunks, which are all the same size, and I saved them as scene files. Then in the parent class, I defined variables for the chunk size. I also created an object which maps chunks to specific coordinates, and an array of chunks which will randomly load. In the process function, we can check which chunk the player is in based on their position. We also save the chunk they were last in, so if they move out of their previous chunk, we'll load and unload chunks using a render distance around their location. We'll use the Chebyshev distance formulas to calculate the coordinates of which chunks to load based on the player's position. We use a seed to determine which chunk to load from the randomized chunks array, so that way the level is always generated in the same way. Then, a parent class can overload the arrays to define which chunks it will load in that level, and it can overload the function called to determine a chunk, based on the position, to handle special cases. For example, I defined zones as rings around the center of the level. And that's it. If you want to explore these levels, wishlist Tiara on Steam today.